Hey, what's up? Hello, my name is Millie and I like to read, and today we're going to be blindly picking my next read. I went ahead and moved all of the rest of my fall TBR up onto the top of the shelf and turned them around, and then I'm just going to pull up a random number generator and pick a number 1 through 1 through 12, and then whatever number it lands on, I will then be reading that book in this video. So hopefully we had a good fall one. Can't wait to see what it is. Let's go ahead and type it in and see what the random number generator chooses. Through 12, it already has it on 6. So let's go ahead and generate 10. Oh my gosh, wait, out of 12. So it's either this one or this one. But I already know what this one is. And I would normally count like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Hello Stranger by Katherine Center. So many people that I know, I feel like, have been reading this book lately. Originally, obviously, I saw Haley Pham read this and give it like a 5-star, one of her 6-star reads, I think. Then Ellen Catherine, I think, recently read it and gave it a 5 stars. And I also feel like there was 1 or 2 other people I watched who recently read this and really, really loved it. Can't remember who they are, but like, I'm so excited. Also, it's on my 24 books that I want to read in 2024. So it's kind of perfect. Kind of so glad that I got this one. I can't wait. It's gonna be so good. This book, like, so much. I think it's so good. The banter is so good, the writing is so good, the story is so good. Like, I literally went to bed last night, like, I had a hard time falling asleep because I just wanted to go and pick up this book, and I feel like I haven't had a book that made me feel that way in so long. Like, I'm literally loving it. I need to know what happens next. I'm like halfway through right now, and it's so good. So you're following Sadie, and Sadie is a portrait artist, and she just got her big break. She got accepted as a finalist into this big art competition, and so she like is top 10 of over 2,000 applicants and stuff like that. And right after that happens, she gets into an accident, and this accident leaves her with facial blindness, which really doesn't work out well when you're a portrait artist and you have to make a portrait for this big competition that's your big break in the next 6 weeks. And so you're just kind of like following her journey as she navigates that of like literally not being able to like recognize who people are, not knowing who she's talking to ever unless they like identify themselves somehow, or she uses like context clues to piece it all together, and then also trying to like re-figure out how to paint. And then there's just like a whole bunch of different like side journeys and the romance. I'm so excited. I think it's so fun and so funny, and our main character, she's just so like whimsical. Like, I don't even know how to explain it. She's so fun, and I'm loving it. I'm having the absolute best time, and I cannot wait to see what happens in the rest of this book. Like, literally so happy. And I kind of today's the 30th of October, and so tomorrow is Halloween, and I told my mom that I would read Stalking Jack the Ripper before Halloween, or like by Halloween, before October ends, okay? And I have not even started it yet, so I really need to finish this one today, which I definitely foresee myself doing because I'm addicted. It's so good. Like, I'm so obsessed, and I cannot wait to find out what happens next. But I do think next I'm going to be going into Stalking Jack the Ripper. Not that I'm not going to include it in this video, obviously, because I'm not blindly picking this one, but I thought I'd throw that in there. Anyways, also like these new covers, it was on the table for the Barnes & Noble, like, buy a drink, get a book for $5. And so my mom was like, oh, that's interesting. And then she picked it up and read it and then was obsessed with it. And she already bought the rest of the series. And so she was like, you have to read this. I think you're going to love it. And so yeah, I told her that I'd read it, and I'm really excited. So that's what's coming up next. Anyways, don't know why I felt the need to throw that in there, but in case you were wondering, that's what I'm going to be reading next. I would highly recommend this book so far. I mean, obviously who knows how it's gonna happen, what's gonna happen in the end. Currently though, absolutely loving it. Thank you very much. I'm not crying, but you know that feeling of like when you're about to cry? Ow. I did not expect this book to do that to me. Ow. Ow. I'm so upset. Oh my gosh, y'all. This book is so good. Stop. Like, I feel like I've been giving books a lot of 5 stars recently, and I don't know if it's just like a mood that I'm in, or if I've just been like really picking books that I'm in the mood for. I don't even know what it is. And so I was hesitant of like, do I want to give this book a 5-star? Like, especially sometimes it's hard with romance books, I feel like, because there's just like, it's just like not the same kind of content that you're getting in like a fantasy book. And so it's not the same type of 5-star as it would be for a fantasy book. But this book has to be like a 5-star. Like, it's crazy. The girl, she's Delulu. It's fantastic. I love it. She's going through such a hardship, and that's like one of the fantastic things about books too, is that like books help you be more empathetic. That was loud. Books help you be more empathetic. There's been research done on it, and it makes sense, because it's like, I most likely will never know what it's like to go through what our main character Sadie is going through, and like experiencing facial blindness, and hers is acquired, but there's other types of facial blindness as well. I will most likely never know what it's like to go through that, but still just like the experiences that it talks about through this book of just like, for one example, like her best friend throws her a surprise party, and this is like her worst fear of like, you're throwing me a surprise party and I literally just acquired this thing where I literally can't see people's faces. Like, I have no clue who I'm talking to. Like, this is so stressful and overwhelming and stuff like that. And just like things that you don't think about, and just understanding of like what people are experiencing in a way that like you wouldn't normally be able to. Like, there was this thing with just like not being able to see her own face, and then it gets you thinking of like, oh, like people that like experience this, like, and especially in the way of like acquired face blindness, of like, if you have a child, like suddenly not being able to see your child's face anymore, or your partner's face anymore, or like maybe if you have a child after you acquired it and never knowing what your child's face fully looks like that's crazy. And like just things that like I never probably would have thought about before. And that's one of the amazing things about reading. I absolutely love this book. The banter is fantastic. Her writing is phenomenal. There's so many things, like little things that happen in this book that she'll like mention, and then all of a sudden they end up like being in a, not in necessarily a like key part to the story, but like it ends up mattering in a little way, and it's still like, oh, like that's really cool. And it's something that I really appreciate about Katherine Center's writing. And she does a lot. It's like not really just romance or rom-com. Like, it definitely is a rom-com, but more than that, like she also just writes good books, okay, and good stories, and I absolutely loved it. And yeah, those are my thoughts and my feelings on this book. I'm so glad that we did this video, and I'm so glad that I got this book. Also, now I can check it off of reading another book off of my 24 books that I want to read in 2024, which is very exciting. But yeah, this was fantastic. I would highly recommend picking this book up. I loved it. I love Catherine Center's writing, and I feel like she only gets better as she continues to just come out with more books, and I cannot wait to continue reading her backlist. I've read 2 of the ones from her backlist. So I read The Bodyguard by her, and that one's a 5-star for me. And then I think How to Walk Away was like a 3.75, maybe a 4-star. I do think about that book a lot. I just don't remember what about it like wasn't giving for me. I don't know. And then I also read, I think it's called Everyone is Beautiful, and that one was, I really liked it. I had a good emotional connection to it, but there were certain things in it that I was like, I just don't think that should be in here. Wasn't a big fan of some of the things that happened in that one, but this one is fantastic. I cannot wait to read her most recent one, The Rom-Commers, and then just to go back and read a couple more from her backlist. Like, I'm so excited. Absolutely love this, so I highly recommend it, and highly recommend doing a blindly picking your next read, because you never know when you're gonna find a new 5-star. Anyways, that's it for today's video, which is crazy. Who would have thought? But I love you. Jesus loves you. Have a great day, week, life, whatever it is, and I will see you guys next time. Peace.